right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the second year back out of NC State, Nyheim Hines. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
On second down, it's Hines. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, Brissett. And he's got his man, Hilton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. On first down, Hines. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and 16. Brissett, a good throw here, finding Pascal. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40. Being taken down.
It's a gain of 20. That's another Colts first down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. To throw is Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
58, boy, 58, 58. Come on. I got you.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete here.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr, he's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, an 80-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 2.
This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. This is Hines. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They begin the drive with Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a give, right side. Hines. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I want that.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Now Brissett. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from UVA, Juan Thornhill. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Carlson on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly. In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A first catch for the man leading the NFL in receiving yards in this first month. And a first down to boot.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Okay, double up. Mike, check. 50. Here we go. Mike's 59. Mike.
Brissett on first down. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Brissett, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. The 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Carlson now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
To throw, Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brissett. .157 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. His kick is absolutely perfect. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
58, come on. Here we go, let's bring it.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And some space here. He's got daylight. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get enough.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Campbell making the catch. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
58, orbit. They're running it. 58 for Mike, 58. 58 for Mike.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. Now Carr, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey, Alpha. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now Carr. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Carlson on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Raiders 42, Colts 10. Daniel Carlson.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And the catch made by Hilton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
On second down, it's Hines. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. They'll throw now on the final play. Flush to his right. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
Check 53, Mike. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 5 on the dump off there, and that'll lead to a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut. Picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Hines. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. They run with Hines. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? Third level run. First level being the D-line and linebacker. Second level in the secondary, the third. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Hines. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
On third down, Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now a carry for Jacobs. And he's got some space here. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Well, the Raiders last year, they were 25th in the league in rushing, and a good reason why they used one of their 3 first-round picks on Jacobs for runs like we just saw. Jacobs was the first running back taken in this year's draft, 24th overall. That was actually the pick that was originally acquired from the Chicago Bears in that Khalil Mack trade. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Now, 180. 180. We're good. 180.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go.
And that is going to do it. for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Down. Blue 80. Check. 53's Mike. Switch up. Switch up.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Colts' 18-yard line.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Colts pick it up. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken at his 4. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Running is Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Monday, down. 185. Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah.
Raider 1. Go, go. Get that ball. Get that ball. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
One down. 180. You're mine.
Let's go, D. 58, boys, 58. 58, Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
All day, defense, all day. All day.
Hey, 58 is the Mike. Go 58's the Mike. Come on, boy. That's it.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
58, right there.
Five. 58's the Mike. 58's the Mike. He can't hang. Raider 9. 58's up.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Check. Go. 36.
After the sack on 1st down, Brissett. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Returnable here from the 38. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations,
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. There goes Green. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at their 48-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr going to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
He's got a man. It's Williams. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 36.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Set, ready? 8, read. Hey, time.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Oakland, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they soldier chills. My